So this video is about feedback from the reverse percentages diagnostic. Starting with this question, to find out what something was before a 25% decrease. Now this word before means you're trying to get back to the original amount. Okay? The 25% decrease means you are now left with 75%. Now if we were to write that as a decimal multiplier, we divide by 100. So 75%, divide that by 100 and you're left with 0.75. So if you have your decimal multiplier and it were multiplied by the original amount, you would get the new value of whatever it was. So to get back to this original amount, we have to divide each side by 0.75. Hence why the original amount is equal to the new amount, which is divided by 0.75. And that's why your answer is D. For the next question, you're told Becca travels to work by train. The cost of her ticket increases by 11% to £166.50. Becca's weekly pay increases by 4% to £665.60. How much has Becca's weekly pay increased by? So we're really only interested in this bottom line here. It's increased by 4%, which means we now have 104%. And we're also told in the question that the price of our ticket now, the price of our weekly pay is now £665.60. So this is why we've made 104% equal to £665.60. Ultimately, we're trying to get to the amount of her original pay. So what I have done is I've taken it to 1% first. In doing so, we need to divide each side by 104. So 104 divided by 104 gets me to 1%, and £665.60 divided by 104 gives me £6.40. Multiplying each side by 100% on the left hand side will take me up to 100%, and on the right hand side £6.40 multiplied by 100 is £640. So that's how much her original weekly pay was. But if I look back at the question, it said how much has Becca's weekly pay increased by? So if she was originally paid £640 and she is now paid £665.60, then her weekly pay has increased by £25.60. And that's why the answer was D. The next question, to find out what something was before a 3% decrease, very similar to the first question I've just went over. So again, it's been decreased, so you are left with 97%. Writing that as a decimal, so I've divided by 100, gets me 0.97. So your formula that you should now be familiar with is 97%. If you were to multiply that by the original amount, you'd be left with your new amount. We want to know how to get to the original amount. Therefore, we must multiply each side, we must divide each side by 0.97. That, of course, would get rid of it on this side. And doing whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other to keep it balanced. You would divide by 0.97. Therefore, the original amount is equal to the new amount divided by 0.97. And that's why your answer is A. The next question looking very similar to just 2 questions ago, but this time we're asked for the original pay of Becca's train ticket. So we're going to be looking at the middle piece of information here. The cost of a train ticket increases by 11% to £166.50. So because it's increased by 11%, we're adding on. So we now have 111%. The question tells you that the new price of the ticket is £166.50. And that's why 111% is equal to that. Again, if I take it down to 1%, then I'm going to have to divide by 111. Doing the same on the right hand side, so £166.50 divided by 111 is £1.50. Taking it back up to 100%, which obviously is the original amount, we need to multiply each side by 100, giving us £150. That's why your answer is B. This question here, to find out what something was before a 24% increase. So very similar to another 2 questions you've just seen like this, only this time it's an increase. So because it's an increase, you add on. So 100% plus 24% is 124%. Dividing by 100 will get you the decimal multiplier of 1.24. And then your strategy is exactly the same. So your percentage multiplied by the original amount would have given you the new amount, but we're interested in getting back to the original amount. So we need to divide each side by 1.24 to get rid of the 1.24 on this side, and also to keep each side balanced. The original amount is equal to the new amount divided by 1.24. And that's why your answer is B. This question here. A car is advertised for £1,000 and a 30% off sale. What was the original price? So if it's a 30% off sale, we need to take away the 30%. So what we've got left is 70%. And we're told that the car is being sold at £1,000. So the 70% that you're left with is equal to that £1,000. Dividing each side by 70 gets me 1% on the left and 14.285 blah blah blah. At this stage, I've left that answer on my calculator. I've not cleared it, because on the next stage what I'm going to do is multiply by 100, and again on each side. You'll also see that I've left that answer the way it is, because that's not your final answer. Where money's concerned, it's implied that you must round to 2 decimal places. So therefore, if this was a written type question, you must leave your answer as £1,428.57. And that also shows us why C is the correct answer.